All right, what is going on? We have made it to another home finance hacks here on Tuesday, and we've got a great one here for you today. I know usually it's a good one, but today's a great one. We are talking about all of the ways that you can purchase a home without putting any money down at all. And there's a good few of them out there that I'm gonna go through. So make sure you get your pen, your paper, take some notes, because some of these are actually gonna be able to help you be able to get into a home without having to put any money down on that home, which is the biggest thing that prevents a lot of people from being able to purchase a home is all of the upfront costs, especially with the increase in home prices and everything. So we are going to talk about ways that we can help take care of that for you. To start off at the top, I want to mention the talk about the $25,000 down payment assistance grant from the government to be able to purchase a home. That is not something that has been pushed into law yet. So that is a plan that has been in the works. It is a plan that I would not hold your breath for. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. I have no idea whether or not it's going to happen. However, anytime you're doing anything that deals with the government, it might happen, it might not happen. If it does happen, it might move very slowly and it might be a long time before it happens. Just to give you a brief synopsis or understanding of this entire down payment assistance grant, this is something that was initially started in terms of a proposal to be put into law back in 2021. So if you think of where we are today, if you're listening to this in October of 2024, it still has not been put into law yet. And this is like, 3 years after the fact. So again, I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's where I'm going to leave that is that, it's not a thing. So I'm not going to waste time anymore going through that. We're going to just dig straight on into the things that you can do today that can help you be able to purchase a home. So starting off at the top, down payment assistance programs. This is the one that's actually going to require you to do a little bit more legwork, a little bit more research, because the down payment assistance programs that are available vary from state to state. Now, there are some down payment assistance programs that are offered by particular lenders that cross state lines and they apply to all 50 states. But then there are other down payment assistance programs that are state specific. There are some that just apply to Georgia, some that just apply to Florida, some that just apply to Arizona or California. So depending upon the state that you're in, you're going to want to go and do a little bit of research to see what programs are out there for you. And by research, I mean, go and talk to some mortgage lenders. And I use lenders in the plural sense. You want to talk to multiple mortgage lenders. And the reason is because if you go to just one mortgage lender, they are going to tell you about what they have that's available to you. So you might go to a mortgage lender and say, hey, I need a loan to purchase a home and I'm going to need down payment assistance. Well, if that mortgage lender has one down payment assistance program, that's the one that they're going to tell you about. And is that going to be the best one for you? Well, if you ask that mortgage lender, sure, that's going to be the best one for everybody because that's the only one that they have. But there may be better options out there for you, but you're not going to know that unless you're shopping around and getting the best programs or the best idea of the rates, the terms, the interest rates, all of the options that are out there that are available to you. Now, the best lender to go with doesn't necessarily have the best program. It might be the lender that can actually get the deal closed, because it doesn't matter if you have a lender that has a great program, but then they are horrible at being able to get documents in order to get you closed on time, which might end up costing you money or end up costing you the deal later. So again, these are all things that you want to put into consideration, but just want to drop that in there that when you're looking at down payment assistance programs, talk to multiple mortgage lenders to see what's out there, but not just for the down payment assistance programs that they offer. Also, you want to know, hey, what are your closing times? Hey, you want to get a feel for how accessible they are. Do you reach out to them on a Saturday and can you get a hold of them? Or is it one of those things where we work 9 to 5 and if you call us after business hours, you're going to have to get in contact with us the next day if you actually want to speak to someone? These are things that could end up being a key or a sign into whether or not this is a mortgage lender that you want to work with, or if it's someone that, they might not be able to get the deal closed even though they have a program that might work a little bit better than another lender. So a lot of things to factor in. But down payment assistance, one last thing I do want to say about down payment assistance is that down payment assistance will not cover the entire cost of you purchasing a home. If you go to purchase a home and you have a program that offers $10,000, $20,000 in down payment assistance. That's not going to cover the entire cost of purchasing a home. It covers, in most cases, the down payment. In some cases, it covers the down payment plus a little bit of extra that you can put toward closing costs. But typically, down payment assistance is not going to cover all of the down payment and all of the closing costs that you need in order to purchase that home. So what you want to do is also combine that down payment assistance with seller concessions, because seller concessions are the magic key to help bridge the gap between down payment assistance and you purchasing that home without having to put any money down. So get the down payment assistance that you can get, but that's another reason why I say don't harp too much on what lender is going to offer me the most amount of money, because you do have that option of trying to negotiate for the seller to contribute to closing costs, which can help bridge that gap as well. So you make sure that you get with a great lender first, then pick the lender that's going to actually have great programs to help you get to where you want to be. But seller contributions, seller concessions, you'll hear it called both things, but in any case, it's the seller contributing money to help you be able to purchase this home. So you combine that down payment assistance with the seller contributions, and that's how you're able to purchase a home without having to put any money down. That's just one way. We're going to get into a few other ones as well, but that's just one way. So another way is 100% financing programs that are out there. Now, off the top, I'm a veteran. The VA loan is, in my opinion, the most valuable loan out there. It's the best loan out there, and it's the most valuable thing that any active duty military service member or any retired or separated veteran walks away with when they leave service is the VA home loan. This is a huge benefit to veterans in terms of them being able to purchase a home. It's 100% financing, no money down, so you don't have a down payment at all. But you also don't have any mortgage insurance, which is huge, because not having any mortgage insurance can help increase the purchase price of what you're able to qualify for under that VA loan. Also, VA loans, believe this, do not have a minimum FICO requirement. There's no minimum FICO score, minimum credit score that's required for a VA loan. Now, before you get too excited, if your credit sucks, it doesn't mean that you can just get a loan, because the VA doesn't have a minimum FICO score requirement. Lenders can have requirements that exceed what the VA puts on top of their loan. So for example, the VA doesn't have a requirement, but let's say a lender has a requirement of a 580 or 600 or 620. Well, then you're going to have a 580, 600 or 620 if you want to qualify. So whatever those lender requirements are, that's what you're going to have to abide by. But again, there's a lot of flexibility when it comes to getting a VA loan, and having no down payment is huge. No mortgage insurance is huge. Just trust me on this one. This can save you literally hundreds of dollars a month. Just simply having no mortgage insurance can take hundreds of dollars a month off of your monthly mortgage payment, which is huge. So those are two big things right there. And again, you're going to need to combine that with seller contributions in order to bridge the gap so that you don't have a down payment. But guess what? There are also down payment assistance programs out there that you can combine with the VA loan, so that now you can use a VA loan with down payment assistance. Well, the VA loan doesn't have a down payment requirement, but you can use that down payment assistance to put toward closing costs. So even if you don't get seller contributions to help you close on that home, you can utilize that VA loan with the down payment assistance and still have all the money you need to be able to purchase that home without having to put any money down at all. So that's huge. Obviously, if you're not a veteran, you're like, that doesn't apply to me. But something that may apply to you is called the USDA loan. This is another 100% financing loan. And again, we're talking about all the ways that you can purchase a home without having to put any money down. So USDA loans, this is a government loan that is 100% financing, no down payment required. And the mortgage insurance for this is actually tends to be a lot less than what you might find if you were to go get a conventional loan. So USDA loans typically apply to low and middle income borrowers who are purchasing in USDA eligible areas. So there is a USDA map. It's on it's on the USDA website. So you can go search, put in any address that you want to put in there, and it will let you know whether or not the property that you're looking to purchase is eligible for a USDA loan. If it is eligible for a USDA loan, then it's possible that you can go get a USDA loan, get 100% financing, have very competitive mortgage insurance. And again, you can combine that in some cases with down payment assistance so that you can purchase a home without putting any money down, or you negotiate for the seller to contribute to cover some of your closing costs. And that's how you can also purchase a home with no money down utilizing a USDA loan. And again, that's something that's available for anybody. So you can get a USDA loan if you purchase a home that's in a USDA eligible area. Now, I'm gonna drop a link in the description when I post this video. So make sure you click that link if you're interested in the USDA loan, because it's gonna take you to the map where you can search and type in any address you want, and you can find out whether or not that address is in a USDA eligible area. And if it is, now you move on to step 2, which is finding a great USDA lender that can actually look at your income requirements, because there are some credit score requirements. USDA, again, specifically doesn't mention what the minimum credit score requirement is. However, they prefer for your credit score to be above a 640. So I'll put it that way. It's much easier to get a USDA loan if you have a credit score above a 640. But they'll go through and look to see if your credit score is in a range where it's going to make it easier for you to qualify. But they're also going to check and look to see what your income is, because there are income limits with USDA loans. Again, these are loans that are specifically for low to middle income borrowers. So if your credit score goes above, or excuse me, if your income goes above a certain range, then that's going to make it hard, if not impossible. And one thing that a lot of people get tripped up by when it comes to USDA loans is that the actual income includes everyone that's going to live in the house, not just the individual that's on the loan. So you can have one person on the loan, but if 3 adults who are all working are living in the house, USDA is going to count the income for every single adult that's living in the house. That's something you want to look out for as well. Perhaps you purchase that home with just you and you're the only one living there. And then maybe later on, if you have someone else that wants to move in with you later, at that point, you already have the home. But at the time when you purchase that home, if it's going to be you and several other people, USDA is going to calculate the income of all those individuals that are going to be in the home. And that could be something that might end up hurting you when it comes to not being able to qualify due to income being too high. So if it's just your income and you're already at the limit, you might want to consider who else you're going to have being in that home with you, because that might disqualify you. And that 100% financing with competitive mortgage insurance is something that could be very beneficial. And you also might be surprised. There are a lot of USDA loans that are closer to the city than you might think. People think of these loans as being rural loans, or loans that are for people living in the country or living way outside the city. Not true. There are actually USDA eligible areas. So for example, where I stay in Metro Atlanta, there are USDA eligible areas that are literally just a 25, 30-minute drive outside of the city of Atlanta. So not that far from being able to get into where all the areas are that a lot of people want to go downtown, and not just in Atlanta, in a lot of other major cities as well. You don't go that far outside the city before you reach a USDA eligible area. And that might be appealing for you to be able to get into your first home without having to put any money down, utilizing those seller contributions, seller concessions, or down payment assistance program to combine with the 100% financing, so that you can get that home without putting any money down. So that's another huge one there for you. So the next one I'm gonna talk about is called a gift of equity. Now, this is going to be specific to individuals who are purchasing a home from a family member or relative. Let's say you're purchasing a home from your parents. In this example, let's say that your parents own a home that is $400,000. and your parents owe $300,000 on the home. So that means they have $100,000 worth of equity. With that $100,000 worth of equity, because you're purchasing a home from them, a relative, from your parents can actually gift you the down payment and the closing costs. So again, your parents have $100,000 worth of equity. For a $400,000 home, the minimum down payment required for an FHA loan would be $14,000. So your parents can gift you that $14,000 out of the equity of their home. So it doesn't have to come out of their pocket, doesn't have to come out of your pocket. They can just gift you the equity, that $14,000. Now, let's say your closing costs come to $10,000. So now we're at $24,000. Again, your parents had $100,000 worth of equity. So they can just gift you the $10,000 worth of equity or gift you $24,000 in total. Let's just say 25 to keep the numbers easy. So they gift you $25,000. They gift you $14,000 to cover your down payment and another $11,000 to cover the closing costs. So now your parents did not have to come out of pocket any money, and you don't have to come out of pocket any money. You can purchase a home from your parents, purchase a home from a relative, and they can, out of the equity that they would have received from selling their home, they can gift that equity to you and allow you to purchase the home without having to put any money down at all. And again, they don't have to come out of their pocket. So that's called a gift of equity. Now, you keep hearing me say purchasing a home from a relative, purchasing a home from a parent. This is not a loan that you can utilize, or a technique or a tactic that you can utilize if you're purchasing a home from someone who you don't know. If it's a seller that you don't have a familial relationship with, then you cannot use this technique. So that is one thing that lenders will dig into, is to see, okay, are you related to this individual who's gifting you the equity? If so, then this is definitely a tactic that you might want to consider. But if you're not related, then this is not going to be a tactic that will work for you. But one tactic that can still work for you is called a regular gift that can go towards your down payment or closing costs. FHA loans do not have a limit on how much you can receive as a gift to be able to purchase a home. So you can receive all of your down payment as a gift. You could receive all of your closing costs as a gift. You could receive all of your down payment and closing costs as a gift. How awesome is that? And check it. This does not have to be limited to just family members. This can include friends as well. It can also include your employer. It can include a charitable organization. It can include any government organization that gives loans to help people be able to purchase homes for down payment assistance or for first-time home buyers. So this includes a lot more than just family when it's called just giving you a gift to be able to purchase a home. So there's a gift of equity, which is what we just spoke of, which means that you can purchase the home without having to come out of pocket with any money. And the person, the seller who you're related to, also doesn't have to come out of the pocket with any money. But a regular gift means that you just find someone, anyone, or multiple people, because multiple people can pool money together and just give it to you to purchase a home. But again, there are some criteria that go along with it. One, they need to either be a family member or a close friend. I'm going to say that there's no specific definition on what qualifies as a close friend, and I will leave that as that. But it's a relative or a close friend or an employer or a charitable organization or a government entity. So any of those five things or any of those five sources can gift you money, or a combination of those five sources can gift you money as much as they want. There's no limit to how much they can give you to be able to cover your down payment and your closing costs. All those funds will have to be sourced, meaning that when you go to purchase a home, the lender is going to have to source where those funds came from. So if those funds came from a friend, they're going to need to see that those funds were in the friend's bank account before they came to you. Same thing if they came from a family member or from a charitable organization or anything like that. But that is huge in terms of, hey, I'm not purchasing from a family member, but hey, maybe you found a friend or multiple friends who can give you a little bit here, a little bit there to help you cover the cost of being able to purchase a home. This is something that you can look into as well, because it extends to close friends as well. So that's huge as well. So just to rehash all the different ways that you can purchase a home without having to put any money down. The down payment assistance programs, combine that with seller contributions or seller concessions, because again, down payment assistance programs are not going to cover all of the cost of you purchasing a home, but you combine that with seller contributions or having the seller negotiating for the seller to contribute to the closing costs. And that's one way that you can purchase a home without putting any money down. And one thing I will say about those seller contributions, let's say that you're negotiating and the seller does not want to contribute to helping you purchase the home. Here's another trick that you can do. negotiate a higher purchase price. So if you're purchasing a home for, let's say, $400,000, and the seller's like, I don't want to contribute to helping you purchase this home. Cool. If you need $10,000 to cover your closing costs so you don't have to put any money down, offer $410,000 to the seller and then write in the contract that the seller is going to give you that $10,000 back. The seller's still going to have break even with the same amount of money that they were going to get before if you were just paying them $400,000, but now you're going to give them $410,000 and they're going to give you that $10,000 back. That extra $10,000 doesn't come out of your pocket. That extra $10,000 is actually financed into the price of the home. So when the lender gives the seller the money for you purchasing the seller's home, that extra $10,000 that the lender is giving the seller is what the seller is giving back to you to cover all of your closing costs. So that's one tip that you can utilize to be able to get the money that you need if you're not able to negotiate for the seller to be able to contribute to you purchasing that home. Now the home will have to appraise for $410,000. That's the caveat, is that if you add another $10,000 to the purchase price, the home now has to appraise for that $10,000 extra that you add to it. But if it'll appraise for another $10,000, that's one way that you can get that money that you need to cover down payment and closing costs, especially if you don't have it. So utilize that tip and trick, and that will definitely help you out. So down payment assistance with seller contributions and seller concessions, 100% financing programs like the VA loan and the USDA loan that we spoke about. Those are huge. And again, check the description because I'm going to put a link to the USDA loans as well, so that you can read about that in the description when I release this video live, and you'll be able to search any address in the country and see if it falls within a USDA eligible area, so you can get that 100% financing. Also a gift of equity, which is, again, if you're purchasing a home from a family member, they can gift you the equity that they have in the home, which means that you don't have to have a down payment, you don't have to have a closing cost, and the family member that's gifting you the equity doesn't have to come out of pocket with anything. That equity just comes out of the money that they would have received for selling their home. So that's something that is beautiful about the gift of equity. And it's one way that you will see a lot of people transfer properties from person to person is by utilizing that gift of equity, because it saves a ton of money and it's an easy way to pass homes or sell homes to from parents to children as well. So gift of equity. And then the last one that we just mentioned was just a regular gift that can come from a close friend, a family member, employer, a charitable organization, or a government entity as well. So that's what I have for you. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. Hopefully this has been hugely beneficial for you. Make sure you check the description for the links so that you can get all of that information to start going out and researching whether these homes that you're looking at purchasing fall in USDA eligible areas. If you have questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to help answer any questions, provide any guidance so that we can help get more people into homes. So that's what I have for you. Thank you. Take care. Be blessed. We'll see you next week.